Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Solving problems is what it means to be a man. Let me share something, and this is actually, and I've seen this in the real world, but I first saw this in a book that I read back in the 90s, and back then that's when there was a lot of talk about relationships. That was the waiting to exhale era. And for those not familiar with Waiting to Excel, that was a book by Terry McMillan in which four black women were looking for Mr. Right. And that actually spawned a lot of similar books of the same vein, particularly in the black community. And indeed, white community too. Those were the Sex and the City days. So anyway, right? I remember in one of the books I read, it was a group of people, men and women. They were having a conversation about relationships, but they didn't come out of it with a solution, particularly the men. So, okay, that's in a book. I was like, okay, I'll let that go. But then just dealing with relationships on a professional basis since the 90s. And, being on radio, being on cable TV back in the day, particularly on public access in D.C. So, I've been in those situations, and I've noticed, you talk to people, they doing stuff. They used to be, might even still be on some cases. There used to be groups that would get together, men and women, and they would just talk about relationships. I mean, it's a business. It's a business and everything. But I started peeping something. No one was talking solutions. Now, one of the things I do with the books I have has always been, that was my solution. I said, well, men could at least develop themselves better. And women too, the women who get some of my books to develop themselves better. That was my thing with it. And that's cool. And there are a few people that have it. But then there's a lot of people, particularly men, they would get in these conversations and just complain. Get in these group things and say, well, y'all do this, y'all do that. It's like, okay, what's the solution? How you going to solve it, right? And I'm just going back to that. That's just one thing. But you have a situation, fast forward to the future, and not just with relationships, but just with what's going on in society and life. You get a lot of people, they just sitting around just talking about the issue, just talking about the different things. And say, well, this is happening. And I'm just like, okay, how do we solve it? What are we doing to solve it? What are we doing to make a change? And see, that's the thing that is really the province of men. Let me say this. It's the province of men. See, when I see men sitting around, whether it's in public, whether it's online, just sitting around talking about a problem, I'm like, okay, so what's the solution to it? Like, it's nothing wrong with talking about it, but you got to come up with something to solve it. When men talk, we supposed to solve the issue. When women talk, they just talking. Indeed, this is one thing. Like, and some men can attest to this. Like, if they were with their woman or a group of women and the women complaining about an issue, the true man is going to be like, well, yeah, just do this, this, and this, you'll solve it. And sometimes the women get mad because all they want to do is talk about it. But that's their nature. A woman's nature is to stay still anyway. That's the yin energy. It will be still unless aroused by yang energy, masculine energy. And so it's cool for them to do it. But see, yang energy, masculine energy is about doing. Not just talking, doing. The talking part is all right when you try and come up with a solution. But doing, what are you doing? Even in debates between men, a true debate shouldn't be about who's right or who's wrong, or you just discussing. True debate is, okay, I got my perspective, I'm presenting, you got your perspective presented. Let's see it's not about winning the debate, but seeing, okay, which path to go. You probably pull from both paths. and to solve the issue. Or it could be this other person got a better idea for solving the issue, and then the person would say, oh, okay, this person got a better thing. Let's go with that because it's solving the problem. That's what it means to be a man. The nature of masculine energy at the primal level is to bring order. If you look at society, I don't, you know what? A lot of guys complain about gynocracy. They complain about feminism and all of that. Men bring order. We have this world would be just total chaos without it. Men bring order. We set the structures. And there's nothing wrong with that. I know there's some women want to say, well, we do that. Or we don't like that you do it. Yeah, you don't like it until you get in trouble. Then you look for a man to fix it. So I don't even want to hear that. You know? Let's be clear. Y'all know I don't go in on women on this channel. But on that issue, I'll be like, well, why you asking us to fix the problem? You know? You want to be strong until there's some issue, but then you don't want to fix the damn problem. You look at us to fix it, which we should just do it. In fact, a man, the very nature of men is just to do it anyway. The very nature of man ain't going to ask a woman permission. It's like, whatever, I'm about to do this. She get mad or something. He's like, I'm about to do this. And for the fellas listening, trust me, women respond to that. Women respond to a man who look her dead in the eye and say, baby, this is what's going to happen. I don't care how you feel about this, what I'm about to do. I got to solve this issue. The woman usually get wet. You'll usually shut the fuck up. But that's the nature, solving a problem. And see, when we see all this problem, I don't care what it is in society, it's up to men to fix it. A lot of chaos going on socially, it's up to men to fix it. You know, if there's chaos in a neighborhood, you don't call the cops. You get the men to get together. That's why you get some places. There's many communities across the country. They don't need to call the cops to fix them or some outside force. They'll handle it. You know, I remember when I was young, grandmother had this house in Petworth, in the Petworth area of Northwest D.C., and she had a brick, front and everything. And I remember there was a bunch of boys just sitting on that brick, sitting down there shooting the breeze. My step-grandfather went out there and told their asses to move. And they certainly moved. Grandma didn't have to do anything. Step-grandfather went out there, and he wasn't even like a big man. He was small and slim, but he just went out there, thoroughly looked them dead in the eye. Oh, incidentally, he got a confirmed kill in the World War II, so he didn't give a shit. And he told them, he was like, y'all better move. He solved the issue. He ain't sit there. They ain't sit around and have a discussion about it. That was one thing about him. He just go do it, no matter who liked it. That's what a man's supposed to do. A man's just supposed to solve that problem, solve the issue. All the issues we got, the men need to be discussing. All right, what's the best path to solve the problem? Now, it's not an issue whether it'll be solved or waiting for the women to do something or waiting for somebody else. I'm going to solve this. I'll be like, take care of it. Whatever way you got to do it. So that's what it means to be a man. And that's what we need. It ain't even about getting women, but just being a man, period. The women are the commercial. Men supposed to establish order. That's why I say men, they need to first establish order wherever they live. Start there. Well, start really with themselves. Establish order, discipline within themselves, then gradually expand that. And then expand that boundary. And then when you deal with women, a woman got to be cool with being in your boundary. If she ain't, let her move on. If she going to be resistant or anything, let her move on. You can find another one. But that's the thing. You establish order. You solve problems. That's what it means to be a man. Think on this. I'll talk to y'all. Hello there. This is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Solving problems is what it means to be a man. Let me share